So with me today, I got Bojan, whose last name I can't pronounce. And well, can you tell us how to pronounce your last name and introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, thanks, Johannes. So people typically think it's encrypted. It's actually not. So my first name is Bojan. That's easy. My last name is Zdrnja. So there you go. I've been with the Storm Center for a lot of time now, almost 15 years, I would say. And I'm really looking forward to SANSFIRE this year.
So SANSFIRE, we have all of these handler talks. You're some real cutting edge web stuff, or so beyond a little bit the cross-site scripting, SQL injection. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, sure. So the goal of my presentation is to introduce some, let's say, not so common web and mobile vulnerabilities that I've encountered throughout the last couple of years, since I do a lot of web and mobile application pen tests. So as you said, I won't be talking about typical vulnerabilities, cross-site scripting, SQL injection, and so on, which we need to take care of. But I'll be showing some of the maybe not so complex, but nevertheless very devastating vulnerabilities that I found. And I'll have some live demos, so I hope that people will enjoy that as well.
The live demos are always great. I know you work a lot with mobile applications and such. Any kind of teaser you can give us? Any little preview of a vulnerability that you're going to talk about?
Okay, sure. So with mobile applications, I'll talk a little bit about some local vulnerabilities. Specifically, I'll talk about Touch ID and Face ID vulnerabilities, not in the mechanism per se, but in faulty implementations of such authentication mechanisms, which are really very, very common these days. And people are, in a lot of cases, not even aware of vulnerabilities that exist with such authentication mechanisms.
Yeah, actually, I personally spent some time recently looking at how to use Face ID, for example, for mobile web applications. Not just mobile applications, but mobile web applications with like WebAuthn and such.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it because, particularly with mobile applications, bad passwords. Passwords don't really work. That's what I always say, because on these mobile keyboards, you can't really type them. You think people should use Face ID, or like if it's well implemented, then it's probably better than passwords, or what's your feel on it?
Yeah, that's actually a great comment. I also don't like entering my complex passwords on a mobile keyboards. It's really, really annoying actually when you have to do it more than once per, I don't know, week. So using Touch ID or Face ID as authentication mechanisms is something I generally recommend people use and people implement in their applications. Now, that being said, I've seen a lot of bad implementations, and I won't reveal everything about the presentation right now. I want to, leave it a little bit of a surprise, probably. But I'll specifically talk about implementations in mobile banking applications, which are very, very sensitive, obviously. And there are a couple of cases where I've seen people actually not being aware of dangers that introduce by just simply enabling Touch ID or Face ID authentication.
That's really great. So definitely, if someone writes mobile applications or web applications, they probably should take your class. So it's good for defenders as well as for the breakers.
Yeah, absolutely. So I didn't mention that. I teach 542, which is the web application penetration testing and ethical hacking course. We do actually cover quite a bit of things which are very closely related to mobile application testing as well. Generally, it's always about sending weird traffic to the server side. So absolutely, no matter if you're a defender or actually someone doing penetration tests, offensive testing, I think it will be interesting to both groups of students or attendees.
Excellent. So you're not teaching at SANSFIRE or any class you're taking or looking forward to take?
Yes, finally, I'm actually not teaching and sitting for a course, which will be nice for a change. A little bit. That being said, I enjoy teaching as well. Of course, it's actually really, really great. I'll probably be sitting for 760, which is the only 700 course at SANS. It's Advanced Exploit Research and Development. It's a really, really demanding course. I'm looking forward to that. I've heard from some previous attendees that on day 2, your brain literally explodes. Because of all the information that you get. So I'm looking forward to that.
That sounds so much fun with exploding brains and everything. It sounds almost as good as 503, my favorite course, intrusion detection in-depth course, in which people have described either as the funniest class or the hardest class at SANS.
Yeah, and so, you know what? To be honest, I do remember, as I took 503 as well, long time ago though. I do remember that it was a really, really demanding course as well. And as you said, I can see the brain explosion scenario in 503 as well.
That sounds great. So we don't have your talk really officially scheduled yet. It's not on the schedule as we are recording this, but check out the SANS website. I'll put some banners here on top when we do the post-processing here to have links to SANSFIRE. Hope to see a lot of people that are attending here at the conference, at least see them virtually. Will be a real new experience or a large conference like this online.
Well, online we'll see. I mean, I really enjoyed previous SANSFIRE conferences. Being there, just networking with people was great. That being said, I've been teaching at some big conferences as well, like SANS 2020, which was literally last month. And the experience was also really, really good. The online delivery, the platform is amazing. And I think that in some cases we had even more interaction in students in a particular class, since we do it in Slack channels. We also hang around during lunch breaks with on some other Slack channels. People organize Zoom sessions for lunch breaks. So even though we're not there physically, I think that the level of interaction is almost the same, sometimes maybe even a little bit more. I think that some people that would be maybe a little bit shy, when they're live, just by using Slack, it helped them, kind of talk to other people more. So I'm looking forward to that, and I think it will be a really, really great event.
Great. So looking forward to seeing you there and listening to your talk.
Thank you. Thanks, Johannes, and looking forward to seeing everyone virtually at SANSFIRE this year as well.
Okay, bye.
Bye.